All right. Boom, out of the gate. Let me hit you with something. Something that kind of tells you a lot about a lot of different people. Most people, they're out there, they're waiting for that big moment. They're waiting for that big breakthrough. They're waiting for a win. They're waiting for something that finally changes everything. Guess what? That's exactly why they're stuck. Because that moment, that one moment they're waiting for, it's not coming the way they think it is. Because here's the thing, you don't just win big, you win daily. And I'm going to be very real with you because that's what we do here. A lot of people love the idea of winning. They love the result, they love the recognition and the applause, they love everything that comes along with it. But they don't love what it actually takes to get there. Because what it takes to get there, it is a process. A process that's not flashy, a process that's not exciting. It's the process where the applause isn't there. What it is though is it's showing up. It's showing up again. And then after that, showing up again and again and again and again. You get me? Showing up when nobody's watching. So let me say this as clear as I can. You don't rise when one moment hits. You fall back to how you've been showing up every single day. So when the pressure hits, when the expectations rise, when it actually matters, you're not becoming something new. You're revealing what you've been building. That's why daily matters. That's why discipline matters. That's why consistency matters. Winning looks like this. It's not the highlight. Winning looks like the habits you've built. Winning looks like how you show up with intention every single day. No drifting, no reacting. It looks like when you know what matters and you go after it. Winning looks like when you have the conversation you absolutely don't truly want to have. But guess what? You don't delay it. You don't dance around it. You don't sprinkle sugar on it. You step into that conversation. Now that's courage. Winning looks like when you tell the truth with absolute clarity and you don't sugarcoat it. You show up and you tell the truth to your team. You tell the truth to the situation. And most importantly, you look into that mirror and you tell the truth to yourself. There's no excuses allowed. There's no hiding. There's no running from it. That right there, that is candor. Winning looks like you care enough to hold the standard. You don't tear people down because you know they're capable of more. But you don't lower the bar. You bring people, you raise people up to the bar. That's heart. And that right there, that's where you do see a lot of people fall off. Because it's not about the hype. It's honestly about the alignment. You don't just say you lead with courage, candor, and heart. You have to prove it daily, every single day, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's inconvenient, And even when it would just be so much easier just to stay quiet. Winning looks like you don't let those small things slide. Those things that you might think are insignificant, you don't let them slide because the small things grow. They don't stay small. You address that stuff early. You stay on it. You, my friends, you lead it. Winning looks like you follow through. Winning looks like you follow through every single damn time because consistency builds trust, and trust builds everything else. It is the cornerstone of the foundation of everything. And here's the separator: winning looks like how you finish your day. Anybody, anyone out there, they can have a strong start. Energy is easy, motivation is easy, but finishing strong after you have played an entirely tough 4 quarters, when you're tired, when you've already dealt with enough, when it would just be easier to coast. That's what it's about. That's where identity is built. In the challenge right here, it the hard challenge. You don't have a motivation problem. You don't, yeah, you really truly honestly have a consistency problem. You don't need more information. God knows none of us do. You don't need another video. We have billions of them. You don't need another idea. You already know what to do, my friends. You're just not doing it at the level that you need to. That's candor. And here's the part that requires courage. Doing it anyway. Even when you don't feel like doing it. Even when it's hard. Even when nobody else is watching. Because heart is what keeps you in it. When it would be easier just to freaking take the time card and check out. When it would be easier just to coast by. When it would be easier to lower the standard instead of raising people. Because you don't. You stay in it. You stay locked in and focused. You stay consistent. You stay committed to something bigger than how you feel at that one moment. That's winning. So let's go out there and make it real. Because guess what? Tomorrow is coming. So, tomorrow, what does winning look like for you? Not someday, not next week, but tomorrow. What conversation have you been avoiding? What standard have you let slip? What habit is holding you back from that? You got to pick it, identify it, own it, and then you have to attack it. Because momentum doesn't come from thinking. Momentum comes from action, from movement. And then guess what? Once you stack a day, and then you turn around and you stack another day, and then another, and then another. Well, the really cool thing is eventually what used to feel hard just simply becomes who you are. That's the cool stuff. That is the shift. That is the edge. So you don't just win big. Doesn't happen. You win daily. So this hits you today. If I annoyed you with this message, good. Good. I'm glad. I've needed to hear this many times in my career. Now go prove it. This is the leadership edge, folks. This is where we lead with courage, where we speak with candor, and where we show up most importantly with heart. And yes, I've got a Cubs sign, heart, right over my heart. We'll see you next time. Joe out.